Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. I know it was very hard to decide, do I come here or do I enjoy the sunny weather? I don't blame you, but you're here and I'm so appreciative. I am Mayor Rosalind Harmon, and it truly means a lot to all of us to see you all as residents, our partners, and community members gathered in one space. The State of the City is an exciting time of the year because it gives us a chance to pause, reflect, and look forward together. This year, I want to frame our conversation around a simple idea: seed, nurture, and harvest. It's a way to think about how communities grow. We plant ideas, we invest time and care, and over time, we begin to see the results. That's where Golden Valley is right now. That kind of growth starts with leadership. I want to recognize first my amazing colleagues on the City Council, Maurice Harris and Sophia Guinness. And I especially want to welcome our newest members, Tracy Fussy and Chris Quaich. As a city, we're very glad for our new electeds. And to all of our elected officials and partners, thank you for supporting us and being here tonight. We do have Mayor John Elder of New Hope in the house. And I believe he's the only one. Am I missing anyone? Okay, I know our state rep could not be here, Mike Freiberg. This year as a council, we made an intentional investment in how we support new leadership. We held a full day of onboarding led by Dave Onmark. He's the former executive director of the League of Minnesota Cities. And for me, that really mattered. And the reason why is because when I stepped into this role, I did not have that onboarding experience. And I wanted to make sure that those behind me did. We focused on values like trust, respect, responsibility, fairness, compassion, and of course, loyalty, because how we lead shapes everything that follows. We also know that progress does not happen alone. This past legislative session, we worked closely with our state partners, and I want to personally thank again our Representative Mike Freiberg, Senator Ann Rest, who also could not make it this evening, and Katie Sin, who is our lobbyist with Meserly, and Kramer, who also represents our work at the Capitol. Their partnership continues to be important as we advocate for priorities such as the East Fire Station. There's a lot happening in Golden Valley right now, but you'll hear more from our city manager, Noah Schuckman. But I want to highlight two things. First, our rebranding work. This is about more than a logo. It's about how we tell our story and how we reflect who we are as a community. And our rebranding consultants are here. So if you have the opportunity to meet with them, they're right out front here when we are done this evening. Second is our building forward efforts, which focus on long-term planning, infrastructure, as well as growth. These are investments in the future, the kind that takes time, consistency, as well as shared vision. That shared vision only works if people are a part of it. From the beginning, one of my goals was to create more opportunities for community engagement, not after decisions are made, but before. And I'm proud to say that is starting to happen. We've hosted town halls. We'll also have a town hall here this evening and open houses designed to bring people into conversation early. A great example is our civic campus study. We have invited residents, you all, to attend one of the 4 of our open houses, not just to hear about plans, but to help shape them. That includes to share ideas, ask questions, and of course, challenge us. Because what we're working toward is more than just a project. We're working toward a space that reflects Golden Valley with green space, gathering areas, entertainment, shopping, restaurants, and of course, accessible government services. But just as important, We want you all as residents to feel invested in it. That kind of engagement does not happen overnight. It takes intention, it takes consistency, and you will continue to see more of that. More town halls, more opportunities to participate, and more chances to shape what is truly next. That same mindset applies to trust. We've taken steps this past year to improve transparency through tools like ClearGov and Invisio. But transparency isn't just about tools, it's about being honest. And part of that honesty is acknowledging this: we will make mistakes. Not because we don't care, but because the work we're doing is complex. What matters is how we respond to those mistakes. We own it, we fix it, and we learn from it. I also want to acknowledge one more thing. Not everyone is going to agree with every decision we make, right? Right. So some of you will ask, is all of this development necessary? Or who is paying for this? Maybe, why are we doing it this way? As well as, are we moving too fast or spending too much? Those are fair questions, which means you are paying attention, and it also means to us that you care. Yet I want to remind everyone that we are dealing with old infrastructure and internal systems, and we need to be proactive and forward-thinking. We're already paying more today because we waited on some projects, and acting now will help us prevent even greater costs down the road. And financially, I really want to be clear, we are in a strong financial position. Having kept our levy low over the past 2 years, thanks to Manager Schuckman and the finance team. Yes, give them a round of applause, like that's huge. We continue to make thoughtful investments, and our responsibility is to listen, to explain, and to stay focused on what's best for Golden Valley in the long run. Not only is transparency and trust important as a city, we have been through some tough times, but it is a new day in Golden Valley. And I want to recognize an important transition in our public safety leadership. For the past 6 months, Chief Matt Clark has been serving our community. Yes. He has been serving our community and building strong relationships, and Chief came to Golden Valley at a pivotal moment. And what stood out immediately was how quickly he built trust with our officers, our residents, as well as city leadership. Chief Clark became a police officer in 1991 and worked in several cities in Minnesota before finally joining the city of Minneapolis in 1993. He became the 5th precinct commander in 2010 and was later promoted to assistant chief of police in 2012. He then served as the University of Minnesota police chief before retiring in 2025, came to us, and now look, we've got him, right? But Chief Clark appointment, it's now. He's been working effective immediately, and though he will be ceremonially sworn in as part of the department-wide serving later this year, we're pleased to officially welcome him as our Golden Valley's Chief of Police. Thank you. So while public safety is where we've seen the importance of working together beyond our city, none of us were prepared to encounter Metro Surge and the impacts it had in our communities. Operation Metro Surge created instability that strained local public safety resources and disrupted local economies, affecting our businesses, our schools, and families well beyond the Twin Cities metro area. As a founding member of the Coalition of Stable and Safe Communities, mayors and city managers have partnered with other cities to speak with one voice. We've met with leaders like U.S. Senator Tina Smith, Governor Walz's team, Representative Jenny Claiborne, and our state senators advocating for resources and highlighting the real challenges our communities are facing. Together, we've also partnered with Momentum Advocacy Group to get us organized as a collective while we continue this work, because these challenges don't stop at city boundaries. There is strength in numbers. What started as 10 cities collaborating, we are now close to 30 strong. That's, yes. And when cities raise concerns individually, they can be dismissed. However, a unified nonpartisan coalition cannot. So we are urging immediate de-escalation, clear coordination, and a return to stability so cities can do their jobs and Minnesotans can feel secure in their communities. We're also seeing strong momentum in our local economy. And what's exciting about that momentum is that it did not happen overnight. It starts with an idea, again, that seed, and a vision for what's possible. And over time, that vision is nurtured through planning, partnerships, and a willingness to invest in our future. Recently, I, as well as our city attorney, and Mr. Schuckman and some council members, we had the opportunity to tour both the Amazon facility as well as the tenant warehouse here in Golden Valley. And what stood out wasn't just the size or scale of these operations, it was the level of innovation happening inside their four walls. These are spaces where technology, efficiency, and forward-thinking ideas are shaping how work gets done. They are creating jobs, they are supporting local economy, and most importantly, they're positioning Golden Valley as a place where businesses want to grow as well as invest. But just as important as what's happening inside those buildings is what it represents for our community. It shows that Golden Valley is competitive, it shows that we are adaptable, and it shows that we are thinking ahead. What we're seeing today is the result of years of efforts, the harvest of strong partnerships and thoughtful decisions. And it's also a reminder that the work doesn't stop here. We continue to plant new ideas, nurture opportunities, and invest in what comes next so that Golden Valley remains a place where innovation and community can grow together. Later tonight, City Manager Noah Schuckman will share more about the work ahead, but first we will watch a short video that encompasses what we are doing to fulfill our pillars of city excellence. But before we start the video, I want to leave you with this. Communities don't grow by accident. They grow because people show up, we care, we invest in something bigger than ourselves. The ideas that we are working on today, when you have the opportunity to speak with city staff, these are the decisions that are shaping what comes next. And if we continue to show up for one another, that I believe that we are doing, right? And the first step is that you came here tonight. Thank you. I have no doubt about the future of Golden Valley, because the best of this city isn't just what we've built, it's what we're still planting, nurturing, and discovering. And as you leave tonight, please make sure you pick up a lilac. The lilac is our city's official flower. And we want this to be a reminder of planting the seed, nurturing it, watching it grow and harvest into the community that we are, but where we're going to continue to go, right? And plants take time. You have to water them. Get to know us. Connect with us. Come to city council meetings, right? It's important. So make sure that you grab a lilac as a reminder of not only tonight, but where we're going in terms of our vision. And those are right back there with our Public Works Director, Mr. Kiefer, and he will give you one. Thank you, and now for the video. Golden Valley is a place that blooms with possibility. It's a community where strong roots built over time through service, planning, and connection continue to support how we grow today. That growth doesn't happen by accident. It's nurtured through thoughtful investments, reliable city services, and a community that shows up for one another. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes, so today we're pulling back the curtain just a bit. Residents enjoy the convenience of city living alongside the quiet peacefulness of open spaces. That quality of life is something we've cultivated together through steady care, a strong business environment, and a shared sense of community that continues to shape who we are. According to the 2025 Community Survey, residents report satisfaction with current city services, have a clear understanding of city government and its activities, and are supportive of current and ongoing initiatives such as the city's strategic directives, which are infrastructure, maintenance and enhancement, strategic redevelopment, financial wellness, effective governance and management, and community affairs. Today, I'd like to walk you through each of these and highlight how we continue to plant, nurture, and grow the work that supports our community. Because none of this work happens alone. It grows through shared effort. So I'm going to pass this along to get us started, and yes, I'm trusting everyone with this plant today.
Thank you, Mayor Harmon. Just like this plant, infrastructure is something we have to consistently care and maintain over time. And unlike this plant, we can't just water it once and hope for the best. As always, the city continues to reinvest in its aging infrastructure, much of which is more than 50 years old. And while this work may not always be visible, it's something residents rely on every day because you definitely notice when it's not working. For example, over the past 30+ years, Golden Valley has reconstructed all 120 miles of its local streets. Utility work on water, sanitary sewer, and storm sewer pipes was often done in conjunction with these projects where necessary. Now it is crucial to provide ongoing maintenance to those reconstructed streets and continue rehabilitating older utilities through the city's Infrastructure Renewal Program, or IRP. The IRP program will focus on rehabilitating pavement and utilities, organize the work based on 40 different neighborhood scale areas. Each area is given a rating and schedule for construction based on the overall condition of the infrastructure, including water, sanitary, storm, and pavement. Construction in each neighborhood will take place over 2 years. During the first year, water, sanitary, and storm pipes are evaluated and repaired. During the second year, the road is mill and overlaid. In coordination with the IRP, city staff performed pavement, mill and overlay projects in areas identified to be over 20 years away from IRP construction. Similar to the IRP, the first year of construction will replace valves and hydrants, rebuild manhole and catch basins, and repair curb and sidewalks. Staff will mill and overlay the pavement section the following year. The goal is to extend the life of the infrastructure within the neighborhoods until the IRP can rehabilitate the remaining utilities. The city saves a significant amount of money doing this work in-house. In addition to the IRP, the city systematically performs routine maintenance on an annual basis in one of 5 maintenance districts. This work includes pavement markings, sign replacement, pavement preservation, crack sealing, removing sidewalk trip hazards, sewer lining, valve and hydrant maintenance, and hydrant painting. We've been talking about maintaining what we've built. Now let's look at how we continue to grow what's next.
That's right, Tim. When we talk about redevelopment, we're not just talking about buildings. We're talking about how people experience their city, and hopefully experience it in a good way. While public buildings are also considered infrastructure, rebuilding and relocating them opens up opportunities for strategic redevelopment. The Building Forward projects, including the Civic Campus Master Plan, will replace aging and outdated city buildings to modernize core service operations. We have significant work happening in several areas as part of Building Forward, and 2026 will provide opportunities for community engagement as plans progress. The new East Fire Station, planned for 1875 Lilac Drive along the Highway 100 corridor, will consolidate fire stations number 2 and 3 into a single modern facility designed to improve emergency response times in the eastern portion of the city and enhance operational efficiencies. Public Works operations will be moved from 3 buildings on the Civic campus to 1 consolidated facility at 6100 and 6110 Olson Memorial Highway. The new building will provide better work and storage space and enhanced delivery of essential services. This makes room on the 14-acre Civic campus for a modernized police and fire facility and potentially a new city hall and Hennepin County Library, as well as reimagined public spaces and maybe private development. Watch the Building Forward website and city publications for updates on how to share your input. And all of this growth takes planning, and yes, it also takes resources. So let's talk about how we make that work.
Thanks, Emily. The financial wellness pillar focuses on strategic budgeting and transparent financial stewardship, along with expanding funding resources, fostering regional partnerships, and growing the city's tax base. We know budgets can sometimes feel complex and maybe not everyone's favorite topic, but they matter to all of us. ClearGov was developed to build taxpayer confidence in the city's finance operations by providing transparent, easy to understand information and graphics. You can access the dashboard from the city's website by clicking on Government, then City Finances. The dashboard outlines the budget overview and timeline, as well as separate pages for each general fund budget category and a summary of the city's debt services. Within each budget category, under Financials, you'll get to see a summary of services and expenditures, followed by breakouts showing expenditures by division, expense type, and expense account. Transparency helps us understand where we are, and governance helps guide where we're going.
You know, Lyle, the city's use of transparency tools also extends to the strategic plan, where a website dashboard tracks progress on all initiatives. It provides a clear view of key projects, aligns outcomes with the city's 2030 strategic directives, and highlights major milestones. It also helps us to make sure that we're actually doing what we said we would do. Once in the dashboard, the residents can explore each strategic pillar, review initiatives, and track progress and updates. For example, you can follow the progress of the city's rebranding project by going to the dashboard, clicking on Community Affairs, and selecting the initiative that mentions branding. The bottom of the page includes visuals that connect initiatives to priorities identified in the 2025 Community Survey. And as we continue to grow and evolve, how we tell our story matters too.
Yes, Kirsten, that is so true. An important part of our story is highlighted in one of the pillars of the strategic plan, Community Affairs. The city's rebranding project is part of strengthening local identity. The City of Golden Valley's brand is defined by its governance style and delivery of high-quality services. And yes, this is more than just a new logo. The current identity developed organically over time without a formal framework. For example, the stylized V used in the city logo is a result of a community design contest during the 1970s. Its use with the city name, along with associated color palettes, has been refined and updated by staff members throughout the following decades. As the city continues to modernize through projects like Building Forward and economic development planning, a refreshed brand will help better reflect who we are and how we serve residents, portraying our community's unique identity while meeting varied municipal functions and marketing Golden Valley locally, regionally, and nationally as a great place to live, work, play, and do business. Community engagement is the cornerstone of the rebranding process, so watch the city website and publications for opportunities to participate. And now I'll pass this back because this work always comes full circle.
Thanks, Noah. Well, would you look at that? The plant didn't die, and neither will our vision for our community. As residents, your time, insight, and presence are like seeds that strengthen our community's roots and help new ideas grow. From planting ideas to nurturing progress to seeing the results, this is the work we do together. And yes, sometimes it takes a few meetings to get there. Golden Valley doesn't thrive because of any one person, it thrives because of all of us. You can stay informed about all your city government has to offer through a variety of resources, including the city website, social media accounts, and publications like Golden Valley City News. Live and on-demand web streaming of city meetings and other informational videos are also available through a partnership with CCX Media. To receive email notifications of city news and activities, sign up online through Golden Valley Direct Connect. Thank you. Thank you. As I was sitting and watching, I had a gut check. No one said anything to me, I had a gut check. I always acknowledge city council members and elected officials in the room, but I failed to acknowledge our commissioners. And our commissioners are really, really important to this work because they volunteer their time. So if we have any commissioners that serve in Golden Valley, will you please stand so we can acknowledge you? Thank you. And next up, we will hear from our city manager, Mr. Noah Schuckman.
Thank you, Mayor. One of the real blessings and curses of my job is that I very frequently have to speak after an elected official who's really good at it. And I always feel like I'm not going to live up to that. So well done, Mayor. Thank you. I wanted to say thank you to the Mayor for her remarks and to the Mayor, CCX, and our city communications team for the great work on the video that you just saw. For anyone I don't know, as the Mayor said, my name is Noah Schuckman. I am honored to serve Golden Valley as city manager. I do want to just start off with a few acknowledgments. First, thank you to the Mayor and City Council for your leadership and support of staff. We see that every day and we all appreciate it. The video you just saw is a great reminder of the work that goes into the long-term success of Golden Valley. We are constantly planting seeds for the future, nurturing them and harvesting the results, continuously growing and planting new seeds. Community members see the result of this work in the well-paved and plowed roads, the beautiful parks, a carefully managed budget, thoughtful planning for our neighborhoods and infrastructure, the high level of public safety the community enjoys, a modern strategic plan, and a high-functioning, efficient city and city council. We all work hard to make the city work as well as possible for all. Every day I get to work with staff throughout the city, and that is led by our outstanding executive leadership team. And I want to quickly just introduce them all and ask that they either stand or if they're already standing, just wave so that folks get to see them. Fire Chief Bethany Brunsell, over there. City Attorney Maria Cisneros. Police Chief Matt Clark, who will be delighted to be called out twice. Parks and Recreation Director Janelle Crossfield. Community and Economic Development Director Emily Gellner, in the corner. Finance Director Lyle Hodges. Our Management Fellow Sarah Kazel. Public Works Director Tim Kiefer, over there, and Deputy City Manager Kirsten Santelises, and then our Communications Director Cheryl Weiler. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. Personally, I want to say a very specific thank you to city staff. I hope that everyone here understands the high caliber quality of our staff. They do awesome work. They do a great job. They're dedicated, they're professional, and they care deeply about serving the community. I'm really proud to work with all of them, and so I would love for any other city staff in the room. I think most of them are around the walls, but if you just all wave your hands, and if we could give them a round of applause as well. One of my favorite moments in the past year was receiving the results of the community survey, which the mayor referenced in the video. It is very clear how proud our community is of both the community and the work that the city does, and how much folks appreciate the work of staff. And then it's very clear how excited folks are for the future. So thank you all for that, and thank you to everybody who responded. We take those responses and the results of that survey seriously, and we'll use them to guide our ongoing and continuous improvement efforts. One of those opportunities is doing a better job managing challenging issues in the community. And with that in mind, I want to take a moment to introduce a staff member who's new to the city because her position is new, and that is Piovani Rittman, over there. And Piovani is the city's new code enforcement officer, which means she's going to work with most city departments to help deal with sticky issues out in the community. She's hit the ground running. She's working to make the code enforcement process easier and less confusing for property owners, community members, and staff. And she's just gotten started. She'll be available after the program here. If you have questions over at the table there, please stop by. As the mayor said in the video, Golden Valley thrives because of all of us. Thank you for being here and thank you for making this a great community. Part of the reason this is a great community, as the mayor just mentioned, is our board and commission members. We are always looking for community members who are interested and willing to serve. And so if you are interested, next to Piavani on the right is Andrea Connolly Dees, and Andrea can help get you information about serving on a board or commission if you're interested. Rather than doing a long PowerPoint explaining all the great work that city staff have done in the past year, as you see around the room, departments are here to answer questions themselves and to talk to you about their work. So please stick around after the program and chat with the staff that are here. If you have a specific question about a city issue, they're here to help answer those questions as well. In addition, we also are going to take questions at the end here of my remarks. And so if you have a question and you have not already filled out a card, please raise your hand and we'll get you a card that you can fill out. And then we will take questions and answer those at the end of our program. And we'll get to as many as we have time for this evening, but we'll be happy to follow up offline, or you can also ask staff questions directly at their tables. While folks are thinking of questions, please feel free to get a card or ask a staff member for help with that. I do want to wrap up with a few more words about one of the City Council's 2030 strategic directives, which is the ongoing rebranding project. First, I want to give some specifics on process. Funding for the rebranding project was approved by the City Council as part of the 2026 budget process. The money for the project is being taken from savings from previous year's budgets rather than additions to the 2026 property tax levy. The contract for the consultant, who I'll introduce shortly, was approved by the City Council on March 17th after an open RFP process, and the rebranding process runs throughout the year and will end with a new city brand for approval. So why are we rebranding? A brand is more than just a logo. A brand is a statement of who we are and who we want to be. It is part of a broader effort to ensure that how we present and communicate as a city reflects who we are today and where we are going. This includes improved clarity, consistency, and how residents, businesses, and visitors engage with the city. A strong rebrand is an opportunity to portray our community identity based on its unique attributes and distinctive culture. It needs to resonate with residents, businesses, employees, and community groups, yet be adaptable enough to meet varied municipal functions and flexible enough to grow and evolve to reflect market change. The goal is to promote Golden Valley locally, regionally, and nationally as a great place to live, work, play, and do business. Community and economic development staff are working hard to expand the tax base by bringing new development and redevelopment to the community, and having a new brand will be impactful in that effort. Your input is vital to that process. We're looking for members of the Golden Valley community who bring diverse perspectives and a genuine connection to the city to serve on our rebranding steering committee. Applications can be found on the city's website and will close on Wednesday, April 22nd. Now, I'd like to introduce Rachel Aziz from All Together Studio, who will further explain what to expect in that process. Rachel.
I feel a little bit shorter than everyone else who just spoke. Hi all, my name is Rachel Aziz. I am founder of All Together. We are a place-based creative agency based out of Chicago. We work at the intersection of community engagement, branding, and placemaking. So really bringing a unique perspective of a brand is more than just a logo, as Noah said, and we want to make this a process that you all can inform, which is where our expertise in community engagement comes in. Our goal for this project is to really capture what makes this community unique and tell that story through strategic messaging and a modern visual identity. The city's brand developed in a piecemeal fashion without a lot of strategy or a cohesive system to guide it, which is what staff really need to make sure that all of the communications and programming that you see have a strategy behind them. As the city modernizes its operations and communications, it needs a refreshed identity and style guidelines. This is a system that includes messaging, economic development positioning, a content strategy, photography, illustrations, icons, typography, and a logo. The sum is greater than its parts. A brand is something that brings all of those pieces together to tell that story. So we're at the very beginning of an 8-month process. We have spent the last month reading city plans and understanding the vision for the future that you all have been building. We spent the last couple days touring the community, meeting with staff, exploring the History Center, and collecting fun facts and key contacts along the way. For instance, did you know that Golden Valley is at the 45th latitude, halfway between the equator and the North Pole? I learned that today. I thought that was very cool. Steering committee applications are open, so this is a group who will guide this process at key decision points. So we expect about 5 meetings throughout the process. We also have a community survey that just launched, so that really helps us understand the experience of people who know and love this place. And we want to gather the memories, the feelings, the connection that people have that make sure that this brand feels authentic to this community. Next month, we will launch focus group conversations with local businesses, organizations, realtors, visitors, and more. All of this paints a broad picture of what is Golden Valley's history, who is it today, how does it compare to its neighbors, and who does it want to be? From there, we develop a brand platform, personality, key traits, tone of voice, and a visual aesthetic. That looks like mood boards and messaging that we will share at a public workshop for community input. So there'll be a meeting, I'm trying to think of the timeline of that, in the next couple months where we will share everything that we've learned from this first phase and get your input on to guide us forward. We'll then put together 3 different visual directions and potential taglines and messaging, and the steering committee will help choose one and refine it based on their input. The final brand will be expanded into a style guide that includes messaging, taglines, all of the typography and color, and how everything fits together, and how we measure if it's successful, how people connect to it and start to use it. So our closing kind of pieces are key collateral templates for staff to use, as well as an implementation and launch plan to guide the city for years to come. A brand for a municipality doesn't happen overnight. Things like the website and social media and the print pieces, those can be quickly updated. But this is a long game, and it ties into the long game that the city is playing in all of the ways and planting the seed for the future of what we want the city to become. And so this brand has an important role to play in that. So this is more than a drawing on a piece of paper. It's really a process built on community engagement. So we would love for you to take the survey, join the steering committee, and our goal is that a final brand feels true to this place, and I'm excited to make that happen with you. Thank you. Come talk to me afterwards and buy the coffee and the cookies.
Thank you, Rachel. Let's move on to the town hall portion of our evening. Mayor, would you care to join me up here? If you have not yet done so, you can pass questions to staff on the edges, and I think Sarah's got a couple that are going to get us started.
Okay, so we had our first town hall earlier in the quarter of the year. Want to really set some ground rules. We did very well last time. We didn't have anybody throw a fit or a tantrum, but we really want to respect everyone who is here and respect the space and the process. So just a couple ground rules when we open this up to community. This is a respectful space. We want everyone to share their truth, right, with grace. Please treat everyone here, the speakers, attendees, and staff with kindness and courtesy. Please do not interrupt. So make sure that you fill out a card with your question. Listen actively with an open mind, even when you disagree with what's being shared. Because we may not all agree, but we can definitely listen to understand each other's perspectives. We are here to discuss topics and concerns, not criticize or single out individuals. Language that is threatening or hateful or even demeaning has no place here, okay? We really want to make sure that we get our point across, but with truth and grace. Different viewpoints strengthen our community, disruptive behavior does not. And as the facilitator of this evening, I may step in to gently redirect the conversation or address concerns so we can move forward, but I know that's not going to happen tonight, no. And if there is sustained disruption, we may pause and ask someone to leave or adjourn, and I also don't think we'll have that issue, right? Okay, so is everyone in agreement with those? Yeah. All right. So here's a question that we have. Will the new Civic Campus have places for community to gather? And will there be trails to other places like Brookview?
Well, I'll get it started. That is the goal. That's part of what we're working to find out right now as we work through the Civic Campus planning process. That is one of the things we've heard most consistently is a real hope to have it be a gathering place and more of an active community space than it currently is. And having a trail or an ability to get to and from Brookview easily is something that is also on our wish list and that we'll be working toward.
Why should I join a board or commission? Council? Does someone want to take it? Come on up.
Hey all, I'm Sophia Guinness. I'm one of the council members. You all are here. You obviously care what is happening in the city. If you would like to influence those decisions more, a board or commission is for you. There are many topics from planning to environmental to our parks, all of which you see directly in your daily life. A lot of our staff liaisons for these committees are in the office, and they are at Brookview at our park facility, and they're all very, very knowledgeable and bring a lot of really great content for you to advise us on. And as a council, we take a lot of feedback from our boards and really take the input of them very seriously as we make decisions, and often throw decisions to them before we act. So influence your city, get to know your neighbors, all those wonderful things. You're already here, you might as well take the next step.
Thank you, Councilmember Guinness. What are some future town hall topics? So we definitely, for our next town hall, we really want residents to truly understand our municipal government, which is a Plan B city, and what that entails, as well as transparency with our budget. That will be the next town hall. Other town halls want to talk about what we started, I believe, the Peace Commission, but we really haven't gone anywhere in terms of what will Neighborhood Watch look like, as we are more welcoming to those coming into Golden Valley, and really working with our neighborhood leads. Some other town hall discussions could be public safety, where you hear directly from our chief, as well as both chief of police and fire, right? So there's lots of things that we can talk about in town hall. There may be emergency things that happen in our community where you all will want to talk about it. Our last town hall, Metro Surge was happening. We took some questions regarding that because we really wanted to make sure that people felt comfortable and wanted to know the next steps. So those are some town hall topics. What is the status of the Park Long Range Plan? Ms. Janelle?
Hello, everyone. I'm Janelle Crossfield, Parks and Recreation Director. We recently just concluded phase 1 of our long-range planning, which was Who Are We? We made a draft statement of a commitment to community in Parks and Recreation. You'll see that coming out in the coming months. And we look forward to phase 2 of our long-range planning, which is where are we going? And phase 3 will be how do we get there? Where are we going is looking at our current park system and recreation programs and our ways of doing business, and how are they set up to meet the needs of the community in the future. So you'll have a robust set of community engagement opportunities to connect with us, connect with the consultants, and let us know what you need in the community to enhance your quality of life from a parks and recreation perspective. So stay tuned.
Next question is, how is the police department and the fire department staffing? And we'll have both chiefs come up, please.
All right. For staffing, I have 36 slides. I broke them into 3 different groups. And we're just going to start with, no, I'm sorry. We're down 3 officers in patrol and 2 detectives, and the detective spot's been open for a while. We are working on a recruitment plan. We can talk about that at another date because we don't have that finalized, but that is like my #1 priority is recruitment. We did have some officers at a recruitment fair today, and they said it was a really good conversation with those candidates about coming to Golden Valley. In addition, we do have a couple people that are looking at some different spots. The thing about Golden Valley, it's a great city, but it's not like a larger department. So they are looking at a couple places where they would be able to go to some specialty units that we don't have here. So that's why we need the right fit. And the right fit is people that want to work here for 30 years and want to get invested in the community, and that's what we're going to work on. So the recruitment plan will come out fairly soon. Thanks to the mayor and city manager and all of our folks here. It's a cross-functional approach to getting a plan together to make sure it works for all the different departments here. So appreciate that as well. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Bethany Brunsell, the fire chief. For fire department staffing, we currently have 1 vacant position for an assistant chief, which we've made a conditional offer for our candidate, and hopefully we'll have that filled in the next couple of weeks. As far as paid on-call firefighters, we just last week interviewed candidates for new paid on-call firefighters, and this week we, I believe, are making 14 conditional offers for new paid on-call firefighters. So with that, we will be fully staffed for the fire department.
All right, we're going to have 3 questions for Public Works Director Tim Kiefer. All right, the first one, here's 2 together. After the long process of road work on Duluth Street between Highway 100 and Douglas, the road surface already is in rough condition. The potholes at the intersection of Duluth and Highway 100 are very bad. Why is this relatively new work already in such poor condition? And then related, what's up with all the patchwork on our streets? Concrete mixed with blacktop. Can you talk about why that is done that way?
Might need a little help from our assistant engineer, Mike Ryan, to talk about the project on Duluth. That is a county-led project in partnership with Three Rivers Park District. And so I believe the plan is to mill and overlay that after the trail has been done, if that is correct. So I was actually asked that earlier today. And so next year, the plan is to mill and overlay Duluth. As far as the asphalt and concrete mixed together, typically what we'll do is we'll go in, we'll pour the curb, and then after that we'll come back and patch around the curb, and then after all that work is done and the asphalt has been compacted and cured, then we come back with the sweeper later that day. If there's any more explanation that is needed, please feel free to stop by and we can talk in more detail.
All right, 3rd question. Can you give info on what's happening to the trees and shrubs along the Laurel Green Belt? So much has been cut down.
So a lot of that has been buckthorn removal. It's been identified as one of our major concerns we've been hearing from neighbors about the buckthorn and the invasives, and so a lot of work has been done this winter to remove and eradicate that, and then now we are in the process of planting native vegetation in there to hopefully eradicate that buckthorn.
Yeah, it's great to have staff here so you can hear from them directly. What is the city doing about the instability in the Robbinsdale School District? Does the city see this as an area they can influence or support? Unfortunately, we do not have a role. I do sit on the advisory board for the Robbinsdale School District, as well as some legislatures and other mayors of the Quad Cities, because we share Robbinsdale School District. But it's really unfortunate what is happening, and all we can do is be that partner and that support for them. Okay. The next question, does the budget and plan for rebranding cover execution of that plan? For example, the consultant mentioned content strategy. That could mean many things. What is covered?
Thank you. So the budget that was approved for 2026 includes money for the consultants' work and some additional money to begin transition after the fact. And part of what we're in the middle of doing right now, and that's work that's been led by our communications department, is doing an analysis of all the different things we would need to shift. Some of those things, as Rachel said, are easy digital items, letterhead, that type of thing. But we're not planning to instantly switch out every street sign. We'll do that in a phased way that is in part dependent on the budget and making sure that we're being really mindful of how we do that and how fast we do that. So that'll happen over time and be done thoughtfully. One of the next questions here is, do you have suggestions for how to decrease the nighttime train noise? And that is one that we've heard a great deal about. And again, not one that we have a ton of control over directly. In the 2026 budget, the City Council approved money to do a study of what it would take to implement a quiet zone. Railroads are required by federal law to make that level of noise at any intersection to make sure that there's not an interaction between a train and a vehicle or a person. And the city does not get to regulate that. The city does not get to ask them or tell them to stop. I have asked, and I have given their contact info to many residents and told them to please feel free to share directly with the railroad. And so if you're interested in that contact information, please let me know and I will happily get that to you. We're in the process of working through the quiet zone study, and that will take some time because they're extensive, and then deciding whether or not to implement the recommendations from the study is a whole additional question because it can be very expensive. There are some federal options to help with that, and we will explore all of those, but that is a long process, but we are working on it. And I'm happy to share contact information with the railroad so you can tell them directly what you think of the noise that they have. Let's see here. There's a question here. We have General Mills Corporate, Amazon, Care 11, pretty good for a city of about 22,000 people. What is the desire for corporate business growth? Do we have open corporate space, and does this space burden or border any residential areas? Will we have the infrastructure to support growth? And I'm going to ask Director Gellner to join us up here and take this one if she's willing.
Almost right into the screen. That's been a rough one. All right, thank you. Can I see that? Yes. Okay. Great. Okay, yes. General Mills is one of our largest employers in the city. We also have some other really great major employers. As this person states, we have about 22,000 residents, but we have about 30,000 jobs in the city, so we have a higher daytime population. So the desire for corporate business growth, I think our first goal is retention of our existing corporations. They could leave us at any time, and it may not be easy for us to control that, but we want to have strong relationships. Another tenant was mentioned earlier this evening. That's another important one. Doing those tours and being very involved in understanding how to retain them, I think, is priority number one. As far as growth of new corporate businesses, I think they're most attracted to our major highways in our city, and I think particularly the 394 corridor has a lot of potential. We will address this in our 2050 comprehensive plan, which will begin here in the next several months. So I think my main answer is retention first and expansion next. I'm happy to answer. I have more. I'm happy to answer more of that question at the table after.
Thank you.
Yes.
So we have time for two more here, and they're both for Emily. So is the city on track for meeting its affordable housing goals as identified in the 2040 comprehensive plan?
You know, this is not easy to do affordable housing. We have a certain number of units we want to build, and that's in the 2040 comprehensive plan. We're already seeing that our targets are going to increase in the 2050 comprehensive plan. We need to take a multitude of approaches. We need to address single-family home ownership, but also multifamily projects in the city. And we want to see affordability rates at various levels. Now, the question is, are we on track? I would say that we are on track because the council has made significant investments in staffing levels for our Housing and Redevelopment Authority, which allows us to pursue projects at the rate that we need to. I'm feeling really positive about our momentum now and the relationships that we're creating, and I think we are on track, but we have a lot of work to do, and the environment is only getting more expensive and more unpredictable at this time. Unfortunately, there is the theme of what can we control and what's outside of our control, but I think that we are trying to do this very intentionally, and I think we're trying to balance housing and economic development goals simultaneously because they work so well together. I think we'll still need to keep being creative and creating partnerships, and that's how we get the work done.
Last question here. Are there specific carbon reduction goals that the city has set with identified timelines for both private and public sector within the city?
Yes, those are going to be in the climate equity plan that we release for public review here in the next few days, and it'll be open for the next few weeks for comment. I can't recall the exact goals in there, but they're in that climate equity plan. The important thing I want to note here is that we've talked about how important it is that we are a leader as public sector, and we set that standard and we show that we can do it, so that when we're talking to our private partners that we have ideas of how to get that done. So focusing on ourselves first is important, and then when we feel that we've achieved that with our new city buildings and our parks and other infrastructure, then we can start to focus on others in the community.
Thank you. Yes. Wow. All right, we hit it right on the bar with time. And if we did not answer a question, we are here for the next 30 minutes to talk with you. And guess what? You get one-on-one time. One-on-one time. I just have a couple of announcements before we go. Again, I just want to thank everyone, city staff, communications team, Ms. Cheryl, as well as her team for the video that you saw. Give them a round of applause. And our very own CCX Media helped with that. It was rusty, but we have none other than Mr. Dave Kaiser recording this evening. So thank you, Dave, for being here this evening. This is a lot of work, and so it's just amazing to see the vision coming to fruition, and it just gets better. So next year, be ready, watch out. Just a couple of announcements. Earth Day is coming up. There are a few things that are happening in our community. There is a Nabi walk that the Indigenous will be doing. It'll be a 13-mile walk. And they will be walking through Golden Valley past Ahawak Badan, and they will land in Minneapolis. And so you can look for more information on that online as well. Run in the Valley. Oh, but for Earth Day, right? Earth Day, if you can, just go to a park right outside your front door, your neighborhood. Pick up some trash. Pick up some trash. And yes. And I would like to orchestrate a day or a time where we can pick up trash together at a park. And if so, I will post that. We'll get that out where we can do that together for Earth Day. Okay? But if we can't make that happen, just know that we're relying on you all to pick up some trash, okay? Run the Valley this Saturday, April 18th at 8 a.m. right here. So if you have not registered, feel free to do so, but that's an awesome time to not only get your steps in, but to really be a part of a great cause in terms of where the money goes. So that will be right here at Brookview. The VFW grand opening, this is our Chester Bird American Legion, which is now in what used to be the former Red Lobster. They are having their grand opening on Thursday, April 23rd, and on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they have a host of events for the community. I mean, a lot of things going on. And so we really encourage you to come out, bring your children. It will be family friendly on some days. But we will be doing the ribbon cutting on Thursday, April 23rd at 1:45. And the national commander will be in town, and he will be at the Chester Bird Legion while we do that ceremony. So all are welcome to be a part of that. And if you don't know, they do bingo on Wednesdays, and it's really fun. Other than that, we have May 14th. We have, I don't know if you all are familiar with the cemetery that sits right on the corner of Winnetka and Medicine Lake Road. That cemetery is where a lot of Golden Valley veterans, as well as some of our founding members, I believe former Mayor Anderson, her husband, is buried there. Okay, not sure. Okay. Will be, okay. And so we want to make sure that it's looking good. And so the Golden Valley Historical Society will be putting on an event from 7 to 8 p.m. In terms of the veterans and those who are at that grave site, and maybe doing some planting. Yes, so we'll see, but that's May 14th. More will come on that. Again, I just want to thank you for being here. Make sure you take a lilac home with you. Take care of it, because when you're taking care of it, that means you're taking care of our city. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Be healthy, be well, and make sure you talk with us this evening. Thank you.